We're staying with the report of the two-story building that collapsed earlier today at the Iganmu area of Lagos State. But we would like to warn that the pictures in this report may be found disturbing, and viewers' discretion is advised. This video posted on social media captured the moment the story building collapsed, with some occupants and onlookers scampering for safety. Emergency responders say all occupants had evacuated the building before the collapse and no life was lost. The Lagos response team, alongside Lagos State Government Fire, LAPSCA, and Nigeria Police Force, are responders at the scene with the recommendation of evacuation of the site to avert secondary incidents. Further assessment has been conducted on the scene on the adjoining two-story building, which reveals that the building is distressed and inhabitable for occupants. The Director of Operations, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olatunde Akinsoya, said the agency is in control of the situation. The building collapse in Lagos is coming a day after the commemoration of the International Day for Disaster Risk Reduction, which is an international day that encourages every citizen and government to take part in building more disaster-resilient communities and nations.
Hour this morning, around 8:47 a.m. in the morning, a two-story building collapsed at number 20 Amosu Street, Iganmu, at Iganmu in Lagos State. And of course, immediately we received a distress call. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency deployed all of the emergency services through its command and control center. We deployed all of the emergency services, and of course, LASEMA took lead in the search and rescue operation. First and foremost, I'd like to tell the good people of Lagos State that under the watch of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, they should keep calm.
A news just in is that the Super Eagles have been cleared to leave Libya. You will recall that the Super Eagles were stranded at the airport in Libya for 11 hours yesterday without food, without Wi-Fi and accommodation. They were there to play, or they are there to play the return leg of the AFCON qualifiers after the Libya team were in Nigeria. Now, the different organizations, different individuals in Nigeria have condemned what they now call a hostage situation of the Super Eagles in Libya. But we understand now that the Super Eagles have now been cleared to return back to Nigeria. We will continue to monitor that situation and bring you updates. The sports minister has also reacted. We'll bring you that reaction much later in the bulletin. I will bring you more on that situation of the Super Eagles leaving Libya back for Nigeria in a sports segment of this bulletin. But let's turn our attention back to our coverage of the two-story building that collapsed earlier today at Iganmu. For more on this development, let's bring in the Director of Operations, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olatunde Akinsoya. Good to have you join us. He joins us virtually.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm glad to be with you on the studio. My name is again Engineer Olatunde Akinsoya. I'm the Director of Operations and Maintenance, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA.
All right, thank you so much. I understand you're joining us via phone and not virtually, but let's talk about what's the latest you can tell us in terms of rescue operations or emergency response at Iganmu.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said the other time, of course, the incident happens around 8:47 a.m. in the morning. However, what is very, very important and clear is that the Lagos State government, through one of its agencies, which is one of our stakeholders, LAPSCA, have at one time or the other served that structure, the residents of that building, to evacuate the building because there were observed distress all over the structure. And of course, this is one of the mitigation plans at the fourth stage. Every distress, of course, distress structure should be evacuated. So they've been able to achieve that before. So right now, as we speak, every other stakeholder, including LASEMA, including Lagos Fire Service, local government, and of course the LAPCA are on ground, ensuring that psychotrauma activities that result as a result of this massive call is being alleviated. And of course, you should understand that when there are presence of emergency officers at the scene of incident, it gives confidence to the people around the place, around the incident scene.
And just looking at the pictures, the pictures that were rolling on the screen now, you see that the adjoining building, which you have now said is distressed and uninhabitable, is also, it looks really uninhabitable. What is going to be done to that building, and what more can we expect from LAPSCA or LASEMA in terms of buildings in that area?
Oh, thank you very much. Of course, the first directive I gave to the head of operation at the scene of incident is to carry out an holistic assessment, a holistic impact assessment of the radio. I'm talking about 100 meters from epic center, from where the structure collapsed. Of course, 100-meter radius structure around that premises should be thoroughly assessed. And of course, in the process, they discovered that right adjoining structure was equally and highly distressed. In view of that, the next step is to serve them and give them few hours for them to move out of the scene. So far, there are coordinated and controlled evacuation plans going on in that structure. And all the residents are given few minutes to evacuate and remove all of their properties. And this is human phase of emergency management. We can't just drive them out immediately. We need to give them few minutes or few hours to evacuate their properties. So that is, for now, one or two structures has been found to be distressed, and that a plan and control evacuation is going on there now.
I'm sure we'll continue to speak with you as your emergency response continues in that area. Thank you so much for your time. Director of Operations and Maintenance, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olatunde Akinsoya. Well, let's turn attention now to security matters. The Jigawa State Police Command has arrested an armed robbery suspect linked to multiple incidents in Dutse Metropolitan. Reports say the suspected armed robbers targeted various locations, including Gida Dubu quarters, residence of a prominent politician, local hotel, Galamawa housing estates, and highbrow quarters. This is coming on a day some gunmen killed the Agbaro Divisional Police officer after they laid ambush on the officers. According to the police spokesman in Delta State, Daffy Bright, the unfortunate incident occurred when two divisional police officers attached to Agbaro and Orurukwe were carrying out an operation, and the hoodlums laid ambush on them, killing the DPO of the Agbaro while his colleague sustained injuries. Mr. Daffy Bright confirmed that the injured officer is in stable condition at the hospital, that the police have launched a manhunt on the attackers.